And we was not created to make money during the week and on the weekend get out of it, get drunk, get high, sleep with a stranger. And when you look at the sun, the moon, the stars, the sky, you know you weren't created to make money during the week and dance like a monkey in the club on the weekend and sleep with a complete stranger who you don't know their first, their surname, their age, their real name, or their parents. So, I want to ask people a serious question because it's very rare that we get to have civilized discussions. TV is all about women in bikinis and guys driving the latest car. But I want to ask you a question. If you look at the universe and you look at this beautiful day and you look at this creation, how many of you really believe that photosynthesis, evaporation and condensation is an accident? See, there's many atheists, but atheists believe an iPhone can't come about by chance, a camera can't come about by chance, a BMW can't come about by chance, but this universe is a fluke. Now I want to ask you a question, yeah? When someone wants their house built, do they go down to the pub and ask a bunch of drunk guys who are drinking and plastered and out of it, do they give them 350,000, 400,000 and say build me a house when they're drunk and they're high? No, because it would be irresponsible. So how can you tell me in England in 2016 that a house can't come about by chance, a phone can't come about by chance, a pair of trainers can't come about by chance, but the universe did? How? How is summertime an accident? How is photosynthesis an accident? So anyone intelligent has to say that there's intelligence and power behind it. Also, if there's no God, then there's no right and wrong. There's no right and wrong. You know why? Okay, if this world is an accident, we weren't supposed to be here. And as evolutionists and atheists believe, they believe there's no creator and we're accident. Okay. And we were wild animals, yes? And somehow, after millions and millions of years, in the jungle, in the natural world, we just developed a conscience. So if there's any evolutionists here, I want to ask you, how did we evolve from a monkey type to a human being? How? Because this idea is made to look so great and so intelligent and so forth. But I want to ask, explain to me, because if it's the case that we was a wild beast in the jungle, yes, we was a wild beast in the jungle, and after millions and trillions of years, we got a conscience, and then we started working and wearing clothes. That should mean, according to atheist logic, that with time, crocodiles, lions and tigers and bears, because they were in the same environment as us, one day lions, tigers and bears and lionesses are going to start working and using Oyster cards. So I want the evolutionists, if there's any here, and I know there's many here, they just don't want to speak to me. What I say, if you're evolutionists, prove to us that evolution is true. So look, there's many different religions in the world. There's Muslims, there's Sikhs, there's Christians, there's Hindus. And there's many different religions in the world and they claim that their religion is the truth. You've got Hindus, you've got Christians, you've got Sikhs, and we all say that our religion is the only way. Now, we all believe different things, yes? Yes, all religions tell you, give charity, help the poor, help the homeless. All religions say that. But our beliefs, what we call our Aqidah, our theology is different. So we can't all be right. Yes? Muslims believe different to Christians, Christians believe different to Hindus. We can't all be right. So how can we find out the true religion? And if anyone doesn't believe in God or believes in evolution, you can interject and we can have a conversation about it. If you disagree with anything I say, I will let you speak and I will not interrupt you. So, if there's all these different religions and everyone is born into different families, if there's a God and he's just, then How do we know which is a true religion? Now I believe every human being, no matter what level of intelligence, can tell which is the true religion, which is the false religion. I don't care whether you're religious or you're not. Yes? I don't care if you have university education or you didn't even pass your GCSEs. The truth has to be clear if there is a God and he's just. So the reason why I became a Muslim, the reason why I say that Islam is the truth, is yes, because every religion does tell you that every religion does tell you, give charity, help the poor, be nice to your parents, help the elderly. Even Islam says this, but what's the difference between Islam and every other religion? Okay, first I'm going to give you God's description in the Quran. I'll give you the Arabic, then the English. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. This is God's description in the Quran, and this is why Islam is true and the other religions false. And I will go in detail to explain it. Say God is one, the absolute, the eternal. He wasn't born and he doesn't give birth. Now the difference between Islam and every other religion, apart from Islam, is every other religion says they believe in one God that knows everything, sees everything and hears everything. But when you take the time out to look into their religion, like my family are Jamaican Christians. Now if you ask my mom, or my auntie, or my uncle, does God know everything? They say yes. Does God see everything? They say yes. Does God hear everything? They say yes. But when you take the time to look into the religion, it's a lie. Let me give you an example. Everyone knows that the creator of all of this, the sun, the moon, the stars and the sky, was not a man, or was not a woman, or was not an animal, or was not a statue. Now, Christians believe in God, and they say he's all knowing, all seeing, all hearing, just like Muslims. But what do they believe? They believe the creator of all this became a baby. And they believe that this baby, God Almighty, and I don't know how many of you have kids, yes, or little brothers and sisters that are babies. They believe the creator of all this that's controlling the sun, the moon, the little stars, the sky, photosynthesis, evaporation. They believe God Almighty became a child. And that God Almighty, the creator of the universe, used to cry at night and poo himself and wet himself and so forth. Now I ain't got a question to any Christian here, and I'm not mocking you. I have to be real to you, because as a Muslim, without doubt, without shame, I believe in this life here. And I believe in the day of judgment, without doubt. And I believe in an eternal physical hellfire. And I believe in eternal physical paradise, with no doubt, and I'm proud I believe in that. Now I want to ask you as a Christian, if God is the greatest and he's all knowing and he's all seeing and he's independent, every person, Hindu, Sikh, Christian, they will tell you that they believe God is eternal. So I want to ask the Christian, if God is the greatest and he's independent, how come Mary looked after him? Are you really telling me you want me to take my brain and believe because Jesus was a little boy? Are you really telling me that Mary took the creator of the universe and the solar system, and she used to put a t-shirt, put clothes on him and change his trousers and tell him to go out and play? And that Mary used to tell God Almighty, make sure you're in by 6 o'clock. And can you imagine Jesus? I believe in Jesus. I believe Jesus is a prophet, peace be upon him. But I don't believe he's God Almighty. Can you imagine that Mary told Jesus to go out and play, yes? And she gave him a time to come in because he was a little boy and she's his mother. So what's going to happen to God if he doesn't come back in time? God's going to be in trouble? I want you to think, every religion apart from Islam says God becomes a man, or God becomes a statue, or God becomes an animal, or God created a world in 6 days and then he rested, have a break, have a Kit Kat. God, maybe men and women go to work or university or school, and when they come down, they lie back, they put their house clothes on and they just chill and they rest. But Allah says in the Quran, they created the world and that no sleep or no tiredness overtook him. Now, for those that don't believe in God, I want to ask you a question. How do you define right and wrong? Because as a Muslim, before I was a Muslim, I was living like most people. My God was my desires, yes? So I was living YOLO, you only live once. So I want to ask you a question. Who defines what's right and wrong? Because knowledge, the brain, yes, the brain and intelligence, yes, can't always define right and wrong. And I'll prove it, and that's why I'm saying, I'm making a claim. I'm making a great claim that the Quran is from God. Now either I'm right or I'm wrong. But before you can say I'm right and wrong, you need something. Because there's two kind of choices you can make in life. An informed choice, which is when you get information, not second-hand information or third-hand information, first-hand information. So you read the Quran for yourself and you say, I believe this is false or I believe this is true. So I make the claim to you that Islam is true. But I'm saying, if you don't believe, yes, that Islam is true, I want to know how you define right and wrong. Because the brain can't always define right and wrong. Let me give you an example. If we have any atheists or secularists, I would love to speak to you. If I was to ask you, homosexuality, is it right or wrong? The vast majority of you will say it's right. And you will say it's right because they're two consenting adults and they're not harming anyone. Logic, that's what you're saying. Now, we as Muslims, we believed it was wrong yesterday, we believe it's wrong today, and we believe it's wrong in the future. But I want to ask you a question. Allah says in the Quran, "Wal us, inna insana lafi khusr, illa alladhina amanu." Verily by time, mankind is in loss except those who believe. And it's talking about Islam. So I want you to think about this. You would think that you're intelligent and you're in the first world and you know what's right and wrong. So you would say homosexuality is right because they're two consenting adults and they're not harming anybody and they should be free to do whatever they want. See, us as Muslims, we don't follow people's intellect. We follow the